Okay, this is probably one of the dumber things I've done in my life. So here's what we're looking like. I've got on some shorts, gonna wear a shirt and a hat as usual. I'm actually gonna wear a fanny pack. It's light. I tried to jog with it. It feels okay. I've got a gel right here, birthday cake, and I've got some toilet paper in there. And obviously, it'll be nice to not have to hold my phone the entire time. I can just stuff it in there. Otherwise, I'm gonna get carpal tunnel or some shit. My watch loaded instantly, so I guess that's a good sign. Let's get going here. We're off. So we made it to the trail. We're about 3/4 of a mile in right now. And this direction takes us out about 4, and then obviously another 4 back. And then we'll head out the other direction, which we can go out much further on. The idea is I don't want to go out 15 miles, then have to come back 15 miles. I want to stay relatively close, so in case something comes up, I should be okay. 1 mile in at 7:12, feeling good, 29 to go. I gotta say, as we're settling into this, I am quite nervous. I've never gone this distance before. I've done 26.2 twice, but never 30. So we are going to be entering some uncharted waters in a few hours, assuming all goes well. It is beautiful though. Can't ask for better weather. It's like 50 degrees. The leaves are changing all around me. There's mile 2, and I'm not trying to hit any specific pace. Whatever my legs feel like going, I'm gonna do. This is quite a distance, don't get me wrong, but I have been putting in some serious mileage for the last few months. I do believe I can do it, and do it pretty easily, assuming I keep a decent pace and I fuel correctly. I've been hydrating like all day before this really well. I ate, and I have this fuel on me, which I don't normally do. I usually just go straight into it and just hope for the best. I don't carry anything with me. I think we'll be all right. And we just hit the first 5K at about 21 minutes and 30 seconds. Feeling good. Hopefully in 20 miles, we'll be feeling similar. Can't promise that though. All right, here's the end of the trail this way. About 4 1/4 in right now. Oh, I missed this one down. Let's turn back and head the other way. Now, I mentioned I've been doing a lot of mileage. So I took this past Monday off, and in 5 days I ran 58 miles. So if we run this, it'll be 88. 88 miles in 6 days is over 100 miles per week. It's on pace for it, so not too shabby. I've thrown in a couple 20 bombs in the last few months. I think 2 or 3 20-mile runs this year. I threw an 18 in not too long ago as well. So I'm gonna assume somewhere from 18 to 22 miles, I'm gonna start to feel some discomfort. I should be good until then. And, you know, might feel worse earlier, might feel worse later. Only time will tell. But I can say the Steelers are playing the Bills right now, and it would be much more painful to watch that. I also just want to note, because this is like the stupidest sounding thing ever, we have a little bit less than a marathon to go. Checking in again, just hit 8 miles, and I think we found a nice solid pace to stick at for a while, around 7:10-ish for the last few. We just crossed the intersection that allows you to go either left or right on the trail. We just went all the way to the very end on the left side. Now we're heading this way for, I guess, a while. So it'll be a while before we're back at that intersection. A little over an hour into our running endeavors for today, and I'm taking a pee break because there's nobody around here. And we just hit 10 miles at about an hour and 10 minutes. There's a water fountain right here, so we're gonna take our first water break. There was probably COVID and every disease imaginable on that water fountain, but fuck it, man. We are 1/3 of the way there, and we're feeling good. My legs feel a little bit fatigued, but I think that's because yesterday I got home late from work and had to do my 10 miles or whatever, and I went pretty fast because I don't particularly enjoy running in the dark. We are now at the next town over, and the trail, as you can see, is no longer gravel. It is now paved. So a little bit harder on our feet. Just hit the half marathon at 1 hour, 32 minutes and 25 seconds. It's so stupid. My marathon PB is so bad, but we were on pace for a PB. My PBs from the Pittsburgh Marathon in 2019 are in like 3 hours and 20 minutes. It's so bad. I barely trained for it and got a little cocky, went out fast, hit the wall at mile 18, and it was a struggle fest from then on. I am feeling a little bit more tired than I normally would at this distance. So I think in about a mile or so, I'm gonna break into that gel, start getting some calories in my body. It also can't be helping that for the last 9 or 10 miles, we've just been climbing. It's been a gradual climb, and I've definitely felt it. I've also, I don't know if you can hear it, but it's just a nasty freaking headwind. It's relentless. And this is kind of a crucial part in the run right now. Just hit 15 miles, we're halfway there. Took us about 1 hour, 45 minutes. And I think it's time to crack into this thing because I don't feel as good as I did about 5-10 miles ago. That is good as shit. Oh my God. Hopefully that doesn't fuck with my stomach because I'm not used to eating while I run. Wow. I'm gonna get some of these just to snack on. I don't normally get to make it out this far on the trail, but this place is gorgeous, dude. You can't really see it, but it's just like massive rolling open fields that don't look like they belong in this area. They just kind of pop up on you. It reminds me of the Windows home screen, that famous picture. You know what I'm talking about. All right, it's time to turn around. We're about a little over 18.25 miles. I've been suckling on the bosom of this goo for the last few miles. I think it's keeping me alive. We're gonna have to show a little grit here these next few miles. We'll be all right though. This is easily the farthest I've ever been out on this part of the trail. And I think we were actually getting close to the state border, West Virginia. If I did my math correctly, by the time we get back, we should only have to add on about a mile, maybe less. Just hit 20 miles at just over 2 hours and 21 minutes. 2/3 of the way there. This final third is gonna be really interesting. Right now we're doing okay. We just gotta keep holding on. And honestly, I felt worse 5 miles ago than I do now. So that's a big plus. It's funny to think when I ran my first marathon a little over 3 years ago, at this point in the race, it was chalk, dude. I'd already stopped to like walk. The last 10K, I think I stopped like 2 or 3 times. Finishing up another big uphill section, about a 1/4 mile left of it. And then we'll have a nice smooth downhill section for a few miles. So that'll be nice. I'm really thirsty right now. That's like the next thing on my agenda to get. So we're gonna find that water fountain in a few miles. And it's just such a huge relief to know that the remaining mileage is in the single digits. So 9 miles to go, 1 mile at a time. I don't feel good, but I don't feel bad. It is getting hot and I got a bunch of sweat in my eye. I can barely see. I think I got some of that goo in it. So annoying. So I haven't really explained why I'm doing something so silly like this. It's not as ridiculous when you put it into perspective for me. I've wanted to do this a couple times. I wanted to do it like once or twice this summer, but I ran into hip troubles and couldn't do it. I'll make a more detailed video going forward about what I'm doing and what I'm training for exactly, like what my goals are, but end goal is to run a really decent marathon, looking at Pittsburgh for next May. And I really want to get into ultras and trail running, so super long distances. So if I can make it through 30 miles today, I can make it through a 50K and maybe even more. And the obvious one, I do want to see what I'm made of and get tougher, challenge myself a bit. I spend so much time on my phone and my laptop watching TV and YouTube and shit. I feel like a zombie for most of my life. So doing shit like this kind of brings that human element back into things, makes me feel normal again. And there it is, the marathon, baby. 26.2 miles, 3 hours, 3 minutes, and 50 seconds. We'll tack on 30 for that pee and water break earlier. That's a new PR. Couple miles to go. Water break is right up there. I'm definitely fatigued, but I'm not in pain. We're gonna finish this. There it is. Thank God. I love you so much. Status reported over 27 miles in. Less than 3 to go. I am definitely sore. My body's a little tight. But honestly, I've been really optimistic this whole run. I'm feeling a lot better than I thought I would at this point. And at like 15 miles, I started to get real worried because I was getting real wobbly. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm not gonna make it. And then I just kept going. And then like every few miles or so, I kind of get the wobbles, but I've been pretty sturdy ever since. The bottoms of my feet also hurt. Not horribly, but I definitely feel it more than usual. And my upper arms are really sore from just pumping. We're well over 3 hours into this run, so it makes sense. My stomach also hurts a little bit. Naturally, I'm quite depleted in calories, so I'm gonna treat myself when we're done for sure. Less than a mile left, and I'm tired, but I've got the strength of knowing we're almost there with me. I'm craving something really greasy and something really sugary. My stomach is like turning in on itself. I do feel a little loopy right now. I think my brain's turning to mush. Half a mile to go. It's also really hard to hold the phone up. My arms are tired. I can barely get up the hill. Okay. 30 miles. Wow. I don't know what to say. I'm slurring my words right now. I'm basically drunk. Thanks for tuning in. That was hard.